going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. So today I'm going to be breaking down just two of the trades we took inside of the signals room this week, just to make it clearer for people who don't understand why I took the trades. Also, I'm going to quickly mention about our signals group. We're currently running a very good deal. $49 a month, you get access to our signals group. We're hitting TPs, getting smashed every week. We're currently on a 4 weeks and we haven't lost a single week. 4 weeks in profit, closing out in profit. With this week, we hit a massive trades, 1 to 5 Rs on GBP, JPY, also 1 to 3 Rs on NQ. We are absolutely smashing it inside of the signals group. So the link's in the description if you want to go check it out. Alright, so getting straight into it, we're looking at GBP, JPY. This is one of the trades we took inside the signals group. So at the start of the session, you want to determine a bias. So we head on to the 1 hour time frame to basically just determine what we're expecting for the session, bullish bias, bearish bias. So here, looking on the 1 hour time frame, we can clearly see we're in a 1 hour bullish. So let's mark that out now. So therefore, so we go on to the lower time frame. So let's head on to the 5 minute time frame. I'm going to mark out this minor sell side liquidity, which is from here. So I'm going to mark it out, sell side liquidity. And then going into the New York session, I want to see sell side get swept and then a displacement higher on the 5 minute time frame. And then we are going to target these highs. Alright, so let's let it play out and see whether sell side gets swept. And then we would have tapped into that. We're still inside of a 1 hour bullish. I want to see sell side get swept and then a displacement higher. Alright, there we go. So we've just seen sell side get swept and now we've just displaced higher. Simple. So now we're going to mark it out on the chart. Just briefly like this, just write something like just swept, sell side liquidity. And then the displacement is above this level here, which it created previously before it swept. Let me make this more clean. Alright, so you clearly can see sell side's been swept. We're in a 1 hour bullish. We've got a bullish bias. We've displaced higher. So now let's see if we get a fair value gap. Alright, so we have a fair value gap, which is just formed. So I'm just going to mark out this fair value gap, and then we'll see if we get entry from this fair value gap. Alright, so it's touched the top of the fair value gap, so that will be our entry here. In the signals group, we actually got an entry down here, but originally you would just enter just off a tap of the fair value gap. You'd run your stop just here at, you can run it at the lows, but I would just run it here. It would be safe here. And then we're going to target final buy side liquidity. In the signals group, we got more of a better of an entry, like lower around about here. It gave us a 1 to 5 R, but for the teaching purposes, you should be entering off the upper part of the fair value gap. Alright, so let's see how this trade plays out. Alright, so that'll be TP1 hit. So TP1 would be at the first buy side liquidity, and then you set your stops at break even. And then you just let the trade run. You would close around 30% more here, and then the rest that'll be final TP at the final buy side liquidity. There you go. So you'd be closing out, you would have closed out another 30% of your position there, and then your final TP hit. So you would have closed out the rest there. And that's that first trade example. Let's go into the next one. All right, so getting straight into the second example, we're going to mark out, so we have a bullish bias going into the New York session. We're going to mark out sell side, and then we're also going to mark out this 15-minute bullish. This is my type of setup. This is my A+ setup. This is what I look for. So I look for either buy side or sell side liquidity to be swept, and then it taps into an imbalance below or above buy side or sell side liquidity. I want it to tap into that imbalance, respect it, and move in the opposite direction with a displacement and a fair value gap, and then I target with my TPs at the opposing liquidity. So getting straight into it, we have this 15-minute bullish fair value gap, which I'm going to mark out on my chart. And I want price to come down to this area of sell side liquidity. I want it to respect this 15-minute bullish fair value gap. And then I want to see a displacement higher on the lower time frame for an entry. So let's drop down into the 2-minute time frame. Let's see what we get. Going into, we're going to look for entries. The silver bullet is after 9:40 a.m. So let's mark out 9:40 a.m. That's all entries. We want to look for most of our entries after the 9:40 a.m. window to 10:10 macro. Alright, so there you go. So now we can see sell side has been swept. We took this trade inside of the signals group, so it's all in there. If you want to go through and have a look. For everyone inside of the signals group, you can backtest this yourself as well. Just mark on the chart, swept sell side liquidity. Just good to note stuff, right? So we're going into the silver bullet macro. I'm going to mark this as a buy side liquidity, just a minor buy side. Minor buy side liquidity. I'm also going to go onto the 15-minute time frame and find external buy side liquidity. So this would be a major buy side liquidity. This would be running your final take profit, and your first take profit would be here. But let's see if we get an entry first on the lower time frame when I see a displacement higher. Okay, all right, so we would look for a displacement above this level here. Honestly, so bad at spelling. Alright, so I'll look for a displacement above this level with a bullish fair value gap, and then we'll look for an entry. Okay, right. So we have a bullish fair value gap. We've displaced above this level, so the market structure has now shifted in the opposite direction. We've respected this 15-minute bullish, and we've swept sell side. So now I'm looking for price to continue upwards to our final buy side liquidity, and obviously the first one here. So let's mark out this bullish fair value gap, and we're going to see if price retraces for us to get an entry. A fair value gap is just an imbalance which the market is like a magnet to. So when there's a fair value gap, the market is attracted to go fill that area before it continues in the direction it was in. So now we're going to look to see if we get an entry. There you go. So this is the entry we got inside of the signals room. We actually went long here and we targeted the highs. I believe the first take profit was hit, but it never actually reached the highs, and we ran our stop just at these lows here. So it would have given us a 1 to 3R, which is pretty good. I only really look for trades above a 1 to 2R. I'll never take anything below a 1 to 2R. Otherwise, there's no point taking it. So it's just a bad risk to reward. Let's see how this trade plays out. There you go. Right, so the first take profit has just been hit. After the first take profit, we set our stops at break even. It's completely risk free, and then we just let it run to either our stop at break even. We've already secured profits, so we'll be in a profit, and then obviously we'll let it run to the final take profit or whatever happens. So you just let it play out. And there you go. So for this instance, we got our first take profit. We set stops at break even, and then we got stopped at break even. Simple. Not every trade's going to work out just perfectly. That's how trading is sometimes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. For more videos and content like this, like, subscribe. It means a lot. We're trying to grow this channel to 1K within the next few months. If you're interested in joining our signals room, there's a link below. I'll leave it in the description. We also have a free group, so get in there, and I'll see you guys soon.